Okay, yeah. Welcome to the role-playing game of Tredicor, Lorena, Cassandra. You guys are not far along anymore, as it were. You are in the Iron Union, or the Ore Union, near Iron Haven, really. You're on the outskirts, furthermore, as you would know, Cassandra, of Forest of Forget-Me-Nots. At least that's what you're mostly aware of. You guys are basically at this Druidic camp in the forest. You guys stayed overnight um, after making your ways here and then meeting just briefly before you guys went to bed. Actually, you guys got some gifts from this strange Druidic elder who has much to say and visited you briefly, told you of prophecies and urged you to travel together, you three. As well as, your guys' quest, of course, to come here, Lorena and Tredicor, which you may remember of. Does anyone have any other kind of recap that they want to give real quick that I might have missed?
I'm no longer cursed. Woo!
The older druid who talked of many prophecies and urged you to be together also healed you quite significantly, and you regained your sanity, and you regained your you got rid of your curse, which
My uncursedness.
was annoying in a previous campaign. So watch out for curses, as it were. Everybody, spoiler alert. No, I'm just kidding.
It was my
Wait, was that?
It was my life. That wasn't just annoying. I was dying.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I invited
oh, actually,
Ulrich.
oh, what's that?
Oh, just as far as recap. Don't forget Elric. I really want to know if he can come.
Yeah, you invited Elric. He told you he would have to talk to
Yeah, it was
the druid
kind of
elder.
iffy.
Like,
I have very little hope, but
so yeah, that happened as well. And then, any other thoughts from you, Kyle Tredicor? You're shuffling papers about. No?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the maps right now.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
No, I do want to. Where did we leave off? Like, where are our characters currently right now?
So, if you're looking at your Iron Haven map, you are down in the bottom right, kind of. You're in the Forest of Forget-Me-Nots. There is a Druidic camp, in fact. I don't know if you're able to look at the Discord.
We're just right of the Poison Lake.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's east. So yes. Well, yeah, as you guys know, you guys have made your rest there at this strange nomadic camp, as it were. And these, I might call them the Druidic people. They're not necessarily like Druid class in D&D. They're more just like nomadic tribes. There's some relevance to magic. There's some background noise. You guys might want to mute. I don't know who that is. But thank you. Yeah, you guys wake up in the morning in this strange land of giant forget-me-not flowers and other wildflowers and trees and woodlands. You guys are just in. There's this large tent, which you guys probably stay in. There's a couple other tents that are smaller, and individuals are resting in them that are part of this like small tribe. You may gather as you look about the woodland as you awaken in the dim hours. But yeah, anything you'd like to do in particular? It is a misty morning. It's quite cool. It's autumn.
I want to do a morning meditation, like yoga session, as tradition with the monks. Rise with the sun.
Delightful.
Yeah. So I do my, was it Moon Dog or Rising Dog? I don't know. The
Yeah.
strict.
I like those names. I like it, like downward facing dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down Dog.
I like your name better rather. But yeah, what's everybody else doing? If you guys want to describe your.
Yeah, I think anybody that would care to notice would probably find Cassie outside of her tent in the morning. Like, I imagine it's very dewy and etc. And you would find her outside of her tent, kind of braiding her hair. And if we're surrounded by wildflowers, she's probably like anxiously weaving flowers into her hair to like occupy herself. And she does have very long blonde hair, so she's like by her side and trying to focus on her braid instead of what's coming. But you'd find her getting ready.
Yeah, anything you're doing in particular there, Lorna?
Since it's kind of dewy, you said, I'm actually going to look around for mushrooms and take them with me.
Yeah.
Do I
Yeah, you
see
can
any?
definitely. There. You can make a perception check. There
Okay.
might be some.
It's a 15. Are there some?
I'd say you definitely notice like nothing necessarily nearby, but if you look out a little bit farther, you might see some very large mushrooms mixed in with the giant flowers as well, which go
Can
farther to the south. But you also do find some small, like edible mushrooms that you think are going to be quite palatable that you'll be able to gather
Are
easily.
big ones palatable?
Um,
They won't make you
Most of them are farther away,
Oh.
but you don't think so. No, they're generally not for eating.
Okay, I'm going to pick up some of the edible ones and put them in my satchel.
Mm, mm, mm. In fact, you can make like a kind of like a history check if you would, or some kind of you could do a survival check if you'd like.
Okay. I rolled a 13.
So yeah, pretty much as I described. Those mushrooms are also quite far away. Most of them. There might be one nearby you could taste. You're not quite familiar with the brand of this particularly like spindly mushroom with like smallish caps. It's kind of a yellowish pale color. It's got very long arms that reach out. You've heard in general these large mushrooms. It's about your size. You've heard in the general you don't want to eat them though. So it has a pungent odor, kind of like peppery.
I'm just gonna like cut it down because I can. Like with my dagger, I just want to like slice it. I just want to.
Okay.
Satisfying.
That's what I'm doing for my morning.
Yeah, are you just gonna like just chop it down and go home then?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could, but I'm gonna take some of the little ones with me.
Yeah, you know what? You can go ahead and roll like kind of an attack against the mushroom and see how well you do.
15 plus.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely able to hack it up pretty swiftly. It does take a while. It's a large mushroom, but you can hack off about a cap and a stem with a little bit of trouble, a couple swings, and yeah, you can. I don't know. You could like probably carry one or so of those giant caps and stems, or if you said you wanted to you cut up like the cap or what?
I just was like slashing it just to see what it looked like and what it did, but I'll take a piece of the cap.
Yeah.
You never know.
Kind of like spores and dust, flies about, but nothing else much. You can definitely take a little bit home.
Okay.
How much do you want to take?
Like a fist size. I'm gonna put it in my satchel too.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you got some giant mushroom caps. Well, yeah. Not too much goes on throughout, the camp. There are some kind of like of these nomadic folk shuffling about. You definitely recognize as well. There is Joseph, the knight who attends to Cassandra, and rests in a nearby tent. You guys can stay probably in the large tent where the elder druid who spoke with you earlier slept as well. He's nowhere to be seen though in the morning, but you do see the younger druids about, as well as the Tanner boy. They all kind of shuffle about through the other tents and kind of go off to gather their own things as well. But you guys have your own quests about you, and what do you guys want to do?
I feel like we have rested long enough. Don't you agree, Lorena?
Yes, I feel better than I felt in a year.
As of high.
If I
What do
can,
you
I'd like
say?
to track down Joseph.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, go ahead and you can make like a perception check. Saw him earlier. He was around the Druidic encampment.
That's an 18.
Yeah.
I think I'm blind.
So,
I rolled a 1.
well, you get lost kind of off in the wildflowers. Actually, there's a bit between the Elder Druid's tent and the rest of the encampment. So, Cassandra, definitely you are able to find. You're looking for Elric. He's in one of the
Joseph at the moment. I'll be
Yeah,
looking for Ulrich
you
in a
find
second.
Joseph then. Yeah, Joseph is right there. He's just actually, sorry, Joseph would be easy to find. So he's nearby. If you want to look for Elric, you'll find him that way.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Joseph and Joseph, I've been out for a while. It seems. Is any of our supplies still valuable? Is my pony still about?
Boy, I have got the pony around. I'm not sure how to do. What's the Irish accent? Something like more like that. Well, yeah, I've got the pony about it, as well as the horse. I believe your odd companions may have some transportation as well. But he'll kind of point off in the through the bushes there, through the trees near the encampment. You see your pony. And you guys can go make your way and grab that. If you'd like to describe that at all, certainly can.
Yes. For those who don't know, which I guess is everybody but me, my pony is Buttercup. She's a beautiful small palomino. While I'm headed off to go grab Buttercup, I would actually like to look out for Elric since I have not seen him this morning. If we're allowed to use that perception check, I'd like to use it because it's nice, but I'm willing to reroll it.
No, yeah, you definitely got there. You found Elric in that tent. He was just kind of sitting there, hanging out, kind of meditating, perhaps, looking at the opposite wall. So
I don't want to
you can
interrupt
do
him.
yeah, definitely. You can describe that. He's just kind of look.
Elric, good morning. Have you had a chance to speak to the elder yet?
Yes, I did speak to the elder. He says it is not my path to go with you three companions, but perhaps he said you could seek us out. He could help you through the forest when you're ready, through the forget-me-nots.
I appreciate that. I'm sad to see you go so soon, at least for me. But I hope that our
Should be
paths will cross
around.
again.
Yeah, we should be nearby in this area for some time. I believe the elder intends to stay.
Very well, then you and your people will lead us out of the forest, I assume, then?
Definitely. As well as I can. I'm not too sure of the surroundings. Where are we trying to go?
I have yet to speak to my companions. Perhaps you can join us?
Certainly. Let's go then. And we can all venture out and find you guys. Well, and you guys, Lorna's off in the distance. Tredicor is meditating, so we can go find him easily enough. Lorna, you can pop back in whenever you feel like it. But yeah, you definitely see Tredicor. We can go over there if you'd like.
I'm gonna be tending to my horse, getting it ready to go. That's where I am.
Okay. Yeah, over by the carriage. Yeah, and then you're gonna go see Tredicor probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cassandra, you're gonna find Tredicor.
Yes, if I can, I think I'd like to find like kind of like both of them and like catch her eye and just like, kind of call everybody over because I would like to speak with everybody if I can.
Yeah, if Lorena's by the horse, you can call them over however you please.
Lorena, come join us.
All right, be right over.
Excellent. Yeah, Tredicor, I imagine, is just meditating there, though.
I think that like if he's meditating outside the tent, I'm not going to be one to interrupt his meditation, and I might like stand like close enough that I know he can hear us, and just like kind of like awkwardly like definitely not be interrupting him, but also be like, Lorena, do you and Tredicor have some plan of where we are to go?
I hear my name. What is it that you two are planning?
I seek the same of you.
Well, now that we have our well rest, I feel like we should continue on our quest. We found the princess, correct? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
He's coming out of meditation.
We still have the problem of the dark mage that is here within the forest of the forget-me-nots.
True.
But we also have many other adventures ahead of us. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes.
I think we should try to accompany Cassie, the princess, safely back first thing, because the only way we're going to get the other 25 gold is if we bring her back to Elrond. Like, right away for safety and talk to him.
I think that is very wise of you, Lauren.
I imagine Cassie just like, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Who are we taking me to?
Oh, you'll love him. He is very eccentric. He lives in a great place, beautiful bedding, wonderful food, nice man. You'll love it.
The upholstery is amazing.
It sounds lovely.
Wouldn't you love to go right away? We could set out now.
I have been advised to trust you as my new companions, and I know that I am part of some quest. I do not feel ready in any way to face what I know I must. Okay.
Great. I will do everything I can. So you need not worry. It will be a great journey, I hope.
I don't like that optimism there, or doubt.
And then I should note you have with you here as well as you three. So, the two budding adventurers came from the north and the young princess. You have this knight, her attendant knight, nearby as well as one druid from the human encampment here, as well as these other two who you sought out specifically, the princess. So you've got the three of them, and you guys, the five of you, are kind of in close proximity here, near a tent and the flowers, of course. So yeah, the other people are like, Elric is like, well, I can accompany you to the edge of the forest if you'd like. And Joseph will say, oh, we should be off then.
I agree. We have spent much time here. I am feeling that we have been well rested. How about you, Cassie? How about you, Lorna? Are you ready for travel?
I feel quite ready.
Let's do it.
Let us go
Go
where the
team!
wind takes us then.
Seems my adventure is beginning again. It's been long. We
Which
continue
way
on.
then?
Elric the boy can kind of say, so you're going further towards the Ore Union. It should be this direction, I believe. He'll point off. You guys can actually see some mountains from here, towards kind of the northeast. So it's kind of pointing towards the, I don't know, kind of the northwest, as it were. How you phrase that? So, uh, seems correct. There's the thicket of the forget-me-nots. That direction, really in all directions. It's just kind of in the middle of the forest here in a grove. But this seems correct.
So
If anyone
we
else would like to try to roll some kind of a survival to discern the proper direction to go, you may.
Yeah. Are you sure? You said you think it's this way?
Yes, I'm not completely
You're
positive.
guiding the
said
princess.
northeast.
Think
So
it's this way.
are we heading towards the old Golden Mountains
So-
and ancient Avery?
Good. You're not necessarily going towards the mountains, more so towards Lawnrel. It would be your goal here, I assume. Ultimately, you're heading back to the city. So.
So northwest.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
mountains to the northeast, is kind of also what I was saying.
Okay. Yes.
So you can see
let's
through the
do
trees.
a survival check and see if we actually know our bearings in this land.
Yeah, anybody got a number?
That was a nat one for me.
A 19.
All right, Princess.
Protect you.
Lorna, I would definitely say you are able to pick a slightly,
That
more
way.
obvious, easier path, which is similar in destination, as it were, and direction, but
I
also,
would just like to
more
say,
obvious and easier.
can I walk up to the boy and kind of sassily say, I've got this from here. I can take care of the princess where we need to go.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
like-
Yeah, you could do that to me. I'm just stunned. And the knight, of course, is just fine. He's trudging along with you guys, Joseph. So he's.
I'm not gonna bug
yeah,
him. I don't want to bug
just
him.
to be
Just the
clear.
boy.
Elric. He's just like, oh, sorry,
Oh, all right.
my bad. But yeah, you guys can make your way off. Anything else you guys would like to do? I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I think we
Oh,
need
it's
to
that way.
this forest just because I feel like we have spent some time in here, and I don't know about you. I am quite afraid of these giant mushrooms.
Oh.
Flowers as well, perhaps.
You don't need to be afraid. I chopped down several. They are absolutely harmless. Just don't eat them.
Then why do you have them, Lorna?
It's, something from an old traveling companion. A compulsion of his. Anyway, we should keep going. This way.
Well, let's continue on our path. I hope
Okay.
that you guys have some sort of tracking system so that we don't get lost.
One thing I'll add here is, at a certain point, probably not long after Elric will say, kind of like mostly to Cassandra, say, well, Okay, then. You guys know the way. Perhaps I'll see you again soon.
The word be with you, Elric.
Goodbye. Good to be with you as well. Thank you. All of you, and he'll stop and see you off, and the four of you can continue on with your carriage. You do have as well as your horses that these other two humans have. So I don't know. How are you? You guys are probably just riding your horses, Cassandra. But
I'd imagine
Lorna and
so. We have a
Tredicor,
carriage?
there is
We-
actually a carriage that your companions here have brought. So should add, if you guys want to arrange yourself separately, I mean, you could ride in the carriage as well instead of Buttercup.
I would imagine that Cassie would ride her pony. She's not accustomed to travel, and I think it's super obvious. Like she's riding like a lady would in a parade. Like she's riding side saddle and like trying to look graceful, but like you're tramping through a forest. I don't know if any of you have like been horseback riding in a forest. It's not conducive to riding side saddle very elegantly, and so she keeps like ducking trees and like brushing up against things and like not graceful at all. But she's trying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll add, just might say to you at a point, kind of nudging by, you look nice riding that way. Might, I don't know, you're not in a skirt, are you? You might ride proper in this wilderness for now.
That does seem advised. I have nearly fallen twice now. She is wearing a dress, so if she does try and like go side saddle, like her dress is gonna like hitch up like above her knees, which looks again very odd. My ankles.
I am just like covering my eyes like this the entire time. I'm not seeing that. I don't see anything.
There's no time to change.
I'll also blush a little because I was raised also in the church, so I am not used to this. I'm like,
Cassandra beet red.
Oh, then look away. You could ride side saddle. It's fine. You could ride side saddle.
Like fix her skirts and ride side saddle again, but she is definitely like this. I imagine this saddle isn't super built for it, and so she's definitely like leaning to like one side more than the other and like trying to like counterbalance.
All right, here's the deal. How are you guys riding though? Tridicor, you're steering the carriage. Lorna, you're inside again.
yep.
Okay. So Lorna, you're off the hook here. Tridicor, though, make us like a wilderness survival check, as well as you, Cassandra. Cassandra, also make just a dexterity check for me.
Okay, we're starting.
I believe that's a 15.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's a 15 for the survival for me as well, and a 10 dexterity.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are able to keep on your path there. The path actually becomes more kind of easier to ride as you go along. You're kind of like on the outskirts of like civilization here, as it were. So you kind of begin to find more of a path as you descend northward, and make your way. You eventually find a river, and eventually you will get to the outskirts of the Forest of Forget-Me-Nots. And yeah, I guess let's see here. You could make another survival check, both of you two. Or I guess again you're off the hook. But I would add as well your side saddle. You're definitely gonna be feeling that. Not feeling great, but you're fine. You're riding through.
That's a 2 for survival for Cassie.
21.
Wow. Okay. So, really, as it were, there's just kind of a lot of powder from the pollen from like the flowers all about. And as you kind of brush up against one, perhaps knocking a large dust cloud down upon yourself, Cassandra, it makes you feel like super tired. If you want to describe that.
If she's feeling tired suddenly, I imagine like she's taking noticeable effort to like stay in her saddle as it is, trying to like be decent, having packed very poorly.
Do I?
And I would have.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I would imagine I'm actually riding behind the carriage. It's kind of how I imagined it. Like the carriage is leading, and then me and Joseph would be behind. And so I would imagine you would notice her, like, she was already kind of, like, tilted where, like, she's leaning this way, but, like, trying to, like, center the top of her body. And, like, she just kind of starts to, like, lean more to the side as she gets tired and can't, like, hold herself up anymore as she starts to, like, fall out of her saddle.
Yeah, definitely. As well as, this flower waving above you and dropping this, like, cloud of yellow that just kind of, like, waves off of you, kind of like a waterfall, just, like, puffs up around. Definitely, Joseph is like, his horse is scared as well. Your horse kind of trots a bit. You guys can shake that pollen off. You guys in the cart might not even notice. You guys can roll a perception check.
Yeah, I want to see if I know.
Actually, Lorena, you can. Tredicor, you're not going to notice.
Whatever.
Okay,
What's
it's a
that?
17.
Fine. I don't know. 17. You notice this behind. If you want to comment at all, Lorena.
I'm like this. Do you want to trade me spots? I can walk your little pony.
This sounds like a good idea. I'm sorry, I can't quite stay up in the saddle right now. A rest in the carriage might sound like a good idea. I'm not sure Buttercup would ride well for you, but you're welcome to try.
Well, animals love me. Let's trade. So I'll nudge Tredicor and say, let's stop for a moment so that we can help the princess. She's not in a state for travel.
Whoa! Oh!
I think Cassie is going to fall the rest of the way out of her saddle, like in a semi-deliberate way.
Actually, I am going to be doing one of my signature moves, and I'm going to do Step of the Wind, and I'm going to catch Princess as she falls from her pony.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you can expend your key and describe that. I mean, you're definitely successful in this endeavor.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I took a...
Princess. As long as you are not hurt and that you shall ride in the carriage, I feel like that is the best decision for you.
Thank you. She is going to blush very deeply after being caught, and is going to like make her way to the carriage.
No, I carry the princess all the way in, and I set her gently into the carriage.
Beet red.
I'm gonna say to Buttercup, we've never traveled with Princess before, and then grab the reins and just try to like walk by him for a bit. Does he like me?
So make an animal handling check.
If I have any influence on this, I imagine that the princess's steed would probably be fairly even-tempered as a young princess's pony.
But
I don't think he likes me.
Oh.
I tried.
Okay. Laura, roll a strength check as the horse kind of begins to like kick and like whinny up, and kind of tries to turn around and kind of just make its way away from you at least.
It's a nat 20 this time.
This is my pony.
This pony is, you're basically stronger than it, and you just kind of pull its head down. And you're just like, come on. Do you want to describe that? It just obeys you.
Submissive.
Like I said, I'm good with ponies. So, do I just have to walk by him, or like,
You can do
are you
whatever
gonna trade the other guy that's with us?
Yeah, yes, I could take care of the pony if you'd like. I have for some time. I have a tie. We could tie him behind the horse.
That sounds great. I feel a little out of my depth with cattle.
Here then, and he like kind of reaches behind him and throws this rope over to you. Says it, just tie it up.
Can I tie it?
Just to the horse's reins there, yeah. Or yeah. You want to make a knot tying check?
No.
A Boy Scout check?
Do you want to?
It's an 11. My ear fell off. It's not going to be
It's decent knot. It's not the best you've ever tied by any means. It's kind of kept going about, but you think it'll
I'm
hold.
gonna think to myself as I walk away, at least we're charged with only the princess's safety.
Lorena, you're welcome to join me
Tredicor
in
is
the
watching
carriage.
laughing at the
I
film.
love internal dialogue.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go and just kind of like scoot. Cassie's in the middle, but I'm just like scooting.
Yeah, you guys can both fit in there. Definitely. Sorry, were you going to say something, Tredicor?
Oh, I was just saying Tredicor was sitting on the carriage after dropping off Cassandra into the carriage and just watching in amusement as Lorna struggled to do.
Don't feel too bad, Lorena. He is usually fairly even-tempered, but he sometimes gives me a little bit of spunk too.
What you want me to think? I'm horrible with animals. And I'm like weeping. I actually have actual tears just from laughing, but I'm actually shaken up by this horse.
Lorena, don't feel bad. Honestly, I cannot handle animals any better than you. The only reason he obeys me at all is because I raised him as a foal. I swear.
That's a special connection.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. So you guys are definitely able to make it out of the thicket of the forget-me-nots and kind of to the outskirts of this very small town with some docks by this large greenish algae lake that kind of has an awful smell of eggs as you approach. Not good. The obviously the powder, the sap, the pollen from these trees of flowers was better than this stinky old town. But it's small. There's only a couple houses, and there's an inn that you guys recognize on kind of the far side of town. And I did actually send a little map over your way in the Discord if you're able to view that.
It's a cute map.
But yeah, you guys, come out of, near the Drifters River and the thicket on the right, forest to the south. You guys kind of come up, definitely are aware of this massive lake to the west, to your left as you travel up north, essentially, and come to this old town. It is midday about. There's a market. The mists of the forest kind of fade away behind you, and it's kind of a cloudy day. It is definitely autumn. All the leaves are, they're just scattered about in their orange coats, and yeah, it's still got algae smells throughout, but there's a market, there's this inn, there's just a couple other buildings about, and this dock, which has, always some shady figures standing about. But yeah, you guys are able to come up through town square, seeing, these shabby markets. Everything here is not like you kind of would expect, not up to your snuff, as it were. You kind of used to better and indictments. This is similar to maybe Slendersville, you might remember, Lorna. Kind of poor, very run down town. Anyway, you got anything you guys are going to do as you're approaching?
I think that Cassie is going to turn to Lorena and just kind of go, I was going to suggest we might stop for a hot meal, but I'm not sure I can eat with the stench this bad.
Not to worry, I saved these mushrooms we can have while we ride. They're stinky anyway.
You gathered mushrooms. Do you do that often? It was one of my hobbies as a child.
I enjoy being alone in the woods in the morning time, so it's kind of a thing of mine, you could say. Flashback to chopping them down. I love mushroom gathering.
Well, if you have any, I'm always they're always welcome to me. I haven't been able to truly go gathering in many years since I've kind of been unwillfully detained at home for a while and haven't been able to go about the pastime.
I'd be happy to share.
It's like eating mushrooms. Like
Nice.
kind of gagging a little bit, not because they taste bad, but just because like it stings.
There's definitely a large bump in the carriage as well. It's like, oh.
Hey, where's Tredicor?
So Kyle just lagged out, so we could wait for him to return here. So you guys' little scene was amazing.
Mushroom
Hey,
friends.
you guys are just kind of wobbling in your carriage through town. You definitely see you're approaching the houses as I described before. But anything
Is
else you
this
guys
the
would like to
town
do?
that we came through, me and Tredicor, on the way?
Yeah, Monreal.
Are we close? Where's the inn? Because he owes
At
us
the inn.
rations too.
Yeah,
We can
you
get.
can go to the inn. Sorry. Yeah, you can go there. It's just on the other side of town.
Okay. I think we should go there and try to get a hot meal and not be in the stinky.
Okay.
Also, I don't know. Princess, do you need to rest after your horse fiasco?
Oh, no, we can travel as long as we need to. I'd appreciate a hot meal. I'm afraid I'm not as used to traveling as some might be. I was going to ask though, how long have you and Tredicor been companions?
Suffice it to say, many moons and many deaths. We met at a rough time in my life that I really don't remember. However, we've been together since then, since I can remember.
My goodness, I'm sorry if the question has caused you any distress. Certainly not my intention.
If you'd like, you can
Handle
make a.
quite a bit. No offense.
Hey.
No offenses.
No. Nice. Yeah, nothing has changed. You guys are still traveling through Monreal here. You guys have almost made it to the inn. Hello. Good to see you
Sorry,
back.
I
Awesome.
the map
You're good.
on Discord.
Oh,
That's all. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, yeah, you guys are traveling through town. Lorna, if I was gonna say, if you want, you can make an insight check if you'd like me to give you some knowledge in regard to this information. But your answer was suffice it to say. Anyway, Tridicor, you guys are approaching the inn. Lorna, you might anything else you guys want to do? You might overhear Kyle that they want to go to the inn perhaps for food, primarily.
he owes us.
I do? Well,
No, not you. She
in
meant
my
the
I
innkeeper.
guess I do owe you guys at least a meal.
No, the innkeeper owes us. We paid
Oh.
him in advance.
Oh,
You
yes.
owe us nothing. Except you do owe the princess safety.
Yes. I do protect Princess.
Oh yeah. Side note, Princess, I was gonna say, Audrey, you can scoot your thing up a little bit. Your head's kind of like not in the frame. Anyway,
a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've done this before to you. Anyway,
I'm balanced on
you
books,
guys,
so can like back up.
you guys are able to approach, the inn for sure and make it there, no problem. You guys can tie up your horses, I'd assume, as you'd like. And there's not many people about. There's some people over by the docks near the water. You might not want to go over there anyway. Stinky. So yeah, you guys can tie up your horses and go inside the inn if you'd like. Anything you'd like to describe as you do so?
I'm gonna nervously look to make sure the pony stayed tied on before the princess gets out of the thing. I'm gonna let Let's just check on this real quick.
You know what? You can roll a perception check.
It's a 16.
Yeah, so it looks to you like the horse is still tied on there, so you're good to go. A
Okay,
relief.
now
That
I'm
one
going.
is.
Ooh.
And you know, you definitely see Joseph taking care of both those horses and tying them up. Anything else you guys would like to describe as well?
So since I've been carrying the carriage, I assume I have two horses. I take them off of their harnesses and I tie them up and I make sure that the carriage is safely secured after both parties left the carriage, and to make sure that all of our belongings are safe.
I think that Cassie is definitely gonna like, after everybody's gotten down and while we're putting the horses away, like go up to Buttercup and just like quietly chastise him, like Buttercup, you know better than this. And just gonna like pat him on his backside before heading inside.
Awesome. Yeah, so the inn here is the Shallowhawk Inn. It's pretty desolate inside. There's a couple of tables and chairs and a table, like a bar. You don't really see anybody in there actually. It's kind of the middle of the day, but it's pretty vacant, as it were. You actually don't even see the innkeep.
There's no one at all.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to do as you enter?
Don't worry. Oh, no. I'm going to wait till we enter.
Hey, you guys have entered.
Oh, don't worry. He knows he owes us. I'm going to walk behind and just start getting food from the bar for us. I'm just going to serve us. I don't have time.
Cassie looks very uncomfortable as soon as you start doing this.
You're going to have a fun time
I
with
just
Laura.
have my feet up on a stool, sitting down, watching the show, you know?
Tredicor, can I help you to an ale?
Yes, I shall partake on this.
Excellent. And you, Cassie? An ale?
Yes, that sounds wonderful. She looks very skeptical.
I don't know what
Ryan,
the
is
hell
there
it is.
ale? I don't know if there's ale.
Yeah, you definitely are able to find some ale, and in fact, make a perception check for me, Lorna. I'm gonna
12.
grab my dice. 12. You know, there's some kind of stew for sure boiling on a pot in the back that you're able to find. Not really sure what kind of stew it is, but it seems to be food. It smells vaguely of root vegetables.
And there was ale.
There is ale, you guys. Yeah, you're able
I'm
to
gonna
pour
bring,
them some from a barrel.
the hugest stein to them both. They each is just like huge. And then I go back to get the stew.
You're just like behind the bar. They're just like pulling out some jugs and filling them up, and you're just like, anything you're gonna say?
Drink up 2 pints at lunchtime. Or maybe quarts. Either way, here you go. And then I'll get the stew. Whatever it is.
What are you guys gonna do with these big old drinks you've been given? Big old pints of ale.
They come in pints?
I'm getting one.
I imagine Cassie would believe it to be rude to decline or to not finish something that somebody puts in front of her. And so she's very, like, trepidatious, but she is going to start drinking the entire thing. Like, just... it was set in front of me, and it is my duty to be polite.
Joseph the Knight also comes in and sits beside Cassandra. And his, like, shoulder pads, you know, he's got, like, his little surcoat, and he's like, please, I'd like an ale as well there, ma'am.
I'm gonna give him an actual pint because he demanded I serve him.
Like looks around, he's like,
Just straight faced.
You know, he, after a moment, you do hear some footsteps, some kerfuffle. The door kind of swings by. It's like, who's that then? What's going on here? Oh, it's just you guys. Are you behind the counter?
No one's here to serve us. You owe us things.
I just helped myself.
You're right, I suppose. Make a persuasion check there, Lorna.
It's an 8.
Says, all the same, you shouldn't be behind here. Get back on the other side.
And I'll always scoot back out, but still with my drink.
And that's a round of ales here. He's still covered. Thank you for your patronage. Anything else I can help you with then?
Do you have anything better than this liquid stewy stuff?
Been to the kitchens, have we, as well? Don't think so. It's about, yeah. I got some carrots, You want this? He pulls out some. They got some dirt on them. Fresh picked them myself.
Oh, that would be perfect for Buttercup.
Actually, yes,
This is my finest root vegetables found here in the garden. Not for your horses. I guess you pay me for them, kid.
Buttercup is a very nice pony. He does deserve them. I'll let you know.
We demand that it goes to Buttercup, all right?
I'm gonna aggressively.
All right, fine. Have the carrots, you fools. You don't need me then. I'll be off.
You were here in the first place.
Hey. He goes back through the doorway and disappears.
While this is happening, I would think that Cassie's side-eyed Joseph and has kind of nudged her drink and kind of just silently offered to trade drinks with him. Because from her big tankard to his little pint.
You guys can trade. He'll happily jug that down pretty quickly. Looking around, got most of it already. Kind of relaxes. Where are you gonna go sit, Lorna?
I'm just kind of sitting on the side of the bar right as I came around, just drinking my drink. Not too concerned with the switch.
I imagine that's near the Knight Joseph, and then further away is Cassandra, and then Tredicor. Would you rather sit by Tredicor, though, on the other side, maybe? Or it's up to you.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can say you went around the other side of the bar, because there's two sides. So you go sit by Tredicor. Anything else you guys would like to do as you're just kind of enjoying your ales?
Can I ask, you say the innkeep owes you, and we have certainly helped ourselves to food. Might I ask, how? I hate to be rude.
We paid in advance before we got you. I mean, picked you up.
We've been to this inn a few times. We know some people, all right? Don't ask questions, just accept it.
Very well.
This is definitely more assertive Tredicor.
We've done some things protecting people. I don't know why, but I guess I'm an Italian mobster now.
You've heard accents before. You can mimic them.
You did chug entire ale, so.
True. You might just be talking gibberish at this point. Maybe it's up to you.
Day drinking.
Stealing the drinks that you day drink. Should we go feed Buttercup? I mean, I think I need to build my rapport if we're gonna be long-term companions.
I think you should definitely be the one to give him the carrots.
I'm going to go tempt that then. Does anyone want to come with?
I won't turn down seeing an animal eat carrots. That's adorable.
I think Cassie's busy with her stew. She'll stay at the bar with Joseph.
Okay,
Let's do it, Lorna.
I'm ready. I grab the carrots and let's go.
Yeah. You can definitely go to where the horses are. Just outside. Maybe around the side of the building.
I'm going to give one to my horse and then the rest to Buttercup.
Picking favorites now?
Well, it's my horse. He's going to get jealous.
You can make like an animal handling check if you want.
Did not go well last time. It's going bad this time. It's a 3.
I mean, it's fine. You're able to feed the carrots. Maybe they almost nip your finger, but you're fine. Yeah, you can definitely fulfill your task there. Anything else you'd like to add or describe as you do so?
I'm going to give him a stern look as well and say, "You get back with me alone," and then just walk away.
To the Buttercup.
Yeah.
Assert your dominance.
This Palomino horse kind of whinnies, looks at you funny. Kind of eats some grass. What are you doing out here, Tredicor?
I just saw her fail at being friends with Buttercup. And I go up and I just give Buttercup a nice little cup on the nose or the snout. And I say, be good.
You want to do an animal handling check?
You're not nice, Tredicor.
18.
The horse seems to like you a lot more than it liked Lorna. And, gives you a nice snort and kind of nuzzles up against you with his little snout or whatever. So yeah.
I turn around with a smug smile and just look at Lorna and walk away.
Yeah. Anything you're doing inside at the inn there, Cassandra?
I think she's mostly just eating and feeling generally uncomfortable. I think that seems to be her default mode. I'm going to be entirely honest at this point.
Okay. Yeah, so, you guys have had some mildly warm, mildly delicious stew, and it hasn't taken too long. Anything else you'd like to do? It's, probably past noon. So, yeah. It's up to you guys, though. Have any questions?
So have we already stayed a night?
You have not stayed the night. If you want to, you certainly can. It's afternoon, so.
Because we're still trying to get up to Iron, or it's Iron Haven that we're trying to get to, right?
Yeah.
Lauren?
I'm ready to go on the road and travel more if you guys aren't tired.
Yeah, let's kick some rocks.
Yeah. Should we go back in and see if the princess is ready to go with us?
Yes, we shall. Let's go see if Princess Cassandra is ready.
Are we off then?
Yes.
So,
do you feel you've had enough food?
Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
So we walk into the door, and we approach Princess Cassandra. Cassandra, are you prepared to continue on our journey?
Yes. In the most polite way possible, I would like to be here not a minute longer.
Okay. Well, I think
Understandable.
that now that we have fed our horses, we've had our meal, we've had our small rest, I believe it is time that we continue on our travels.
Our
Yeah,
lodgings will go up from here.
Perhaps if you can give me a moment, I'll try and find something a little bit more suitable to riding. And I think Cassandra's going to go back to her pack. Did I pack pants? As a lady, do I own pants?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I say you
I'm
have some
willing to roll
pants.
for it. Okay.
You got some. You got some. It's fine. I
Um.
mean, no. Let's roll for it. Roll for it.
That's an 11.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I guess you have some pants.
I imagine if she does, they are probably like ill-fitting. And if she has a shirt, it probably is not like she does not know how to dress like this at all. She's very odd-looking. And the
They're
shirt's too
Joseph.
big or not tucked right.
I mean, you definitely got like some knickers or something.
Yeah. She's dressed, but it doesn't look right.
Everyone's like,
Like,
yeah, you guys are able definitely to depart though in your pants, the Shallowhawk Inn, and
I can
head
ride.
up the as you exit kind of this smelly inn through the doorway creaking with made of wood. But there is a sign that points you off towards the rotting path, which kind of heads wrapping around the lake, kind of northwest, and more so leaning towards the west as you continue on through the Hills of Faith, which is a very bumpy hillside. Your traveling order is the same, I think.
I think the only my change would be that I'm riding Buttercup now. Trying again, but this time I have pants on, so I'm not as leany.
Yeah, I guess in that case, Lorna and Cassandra again can go ahead and do kind of a survival check as you guys head on through the Faithland, through the hills.
You want me to or Kyle? Or Tredicor?
Sorry, the other two, Lorna. You are riding in the carriage, so you have the luxury of not having to steer, as it were.
Well, I'm doing the carriage, so. Oh, and I'm
If
doing
you'd
really
like.
well.
18.
19.
Yeah, you guys are, making a great path, not even very bumpy through the hills. Lorna, you probably fall asleep. It's so smooth, just like this is nice. But yeah, eventually you guys are setting out. It does get quite later on in the evening as you guys are in like the thick of the hills. And really, you guys have been going for a while. And I should have mentioned actually, you were, still feeling a bit tired and groggy, Cassandra, from that powder that made you feel so tired. But really, it's getting on later in the day, and you've been traveling a while. So what you might have to do here is kind of like consider it a forced march as you go on kind of longer than 8 hours. So you guys can roll a kind of like a check here. It's like a survival or constitution.
Please be survival.
But yeah, you guys can roll that. Yeah.
I
got
rolled
12.
a 14.
Oh, it's a constitution saving throw.
Oh, Constitution.
Fuck.
Literally, for me too.
Oh,
You
man.
guys have
That sucks. That's
Okay,
like a
actually,
9.
mine's a 12. Not too bad.
I actually did okay with a 16. That was a 19 on the
and
die.
Tredicor got a 9. Okay, so Tredicor, you're the only one who kind of fails. Just like working the reins and the horses for so long has made you a bit tired. As you kind of head on into the afternoon, it kind of gets towards sunset, towards the end of this experience, but you're becoming very tired and enamored. Already, Cassandra, you were quite tired. So I'm gonna actually give you both here a point of exhaustion. Lorna, you are not exhausted at all, but the other two, you will be at exhaustion level 1 now, which does have some notable effects if you're not aware of them. Makes you like bad at everything. Don't want to be tired. Also, the exhaustion scale goes to like 5, and if you get to like 5, you die. So you don't want to go to exhaustion 5. You're at exhaustion 1, and it makes you like bad at everything. You basically have disadvantage on all your like ability checks, and you guys are just really tired. If you want to describe that at all, actually, as you guys are heading off, you totally can. And what do you guys want to do? Just going through the hills.
I'm gonna describe it as basically road drowsiness. I've been driving this carriage long and hard. The sun has always been in my face. We're always heading towards the sun, it seems like. Doesn't matter if it's sunset or sundown. My eyes are tired. My ass is sore. I have some sort of like muscle contractions, and I am just slowly just getting more and more limp.
Not good.
I think behind you,
No.
Cassandra has complete, like, at this point, like, we're just
Sure.
following the carriage, and she's, like, completely given control over to Buttercup, and Buttercup's just following the carriage. So if Buttercup spooked right now, she'd be fucked. She's just, like, kind of dozing off in her saddle following him.
I'll be sure to not look at him then.
And then, oh, by the way, if you guys want, you can send me like a private message on Discord or something to answer that, Lorna. You know, you want to keep in mind what your character's aware of, but you definitely can share what you have. I don't know if you're aware of their drowsiness. Cassandra, would you like to describe how your drowsiness has affected you at all?
Besides mostly just letting Buttercup lead, I think she's just kind of similarly fallen into a trance, kind of like when you're driving on the freeway.
Oh, yeah.
She's just dissociated. She's, yeah.
Yeah, you already said that. So sorry. But yeah, Lorna, you can make a perception check in order to do what you were trying to do.
The thing. Okay, it's a 16.
You know, you notice both of them just looking, you know, vaguely tired, and you know, you do know, of course, they've been at it for a long time. You've been on the road, but you guys are pressing on. So yeah, you can do whatever you want if you can share your inventory.
But would it do anything?
So what's the potion?
It's a stamina potion. Does that help with exhaustion?
It does, yeah.
Then I will offer half to Tredicor and half to Cassie.
What?
I ain't feeling that tired, so I'm gonna share it. I'm just gonna kind of like, sorry about the other guy. He seems fine. I'm gonna just like call out, Princess, I have something that may be of aid to you. You look a little beyond weary, if I do be honest. You look lovely, just very weary. Tredicor, would you care for some of this to give you energy?
Actually have a potion of stamina.
I'm greatly humbled by this, yes. But I want to make sure everybody around me has enough as well.
Yes. Please only take half. The other half I will give to the princess as she is in our care.
Thank you.
Princess, do you trust me enough to take this after seeing Tredicor?
Of course, I have no doubt. I'm sorry about that. I'm simply road weary, and she'll drink the other half.
Nice. How do they feel?
Yeah.
When does
both
it take
of you two who drink the potion, make for me Just a luck check. Give me your D20 straight.
Oh, sorry. I have to reroll.
That's a 4.
Like a 4-leaved clover, so lucky.
Yeah. Right?
Hopefully.
4s are lucky, right, Ryan?
Right? Like a 4 clover
I
for
got a 4 too.
No. You people, I shared.
Well, one of you two should get the effects. Roll again.
We're fighting. This is a versus luck check.
More than half.
I got a 1.
I got a 5.
Cassandra, you had more than half in there. You are not exhausted anymore. You go back to 0 exhausted. And, be that as it may, I guess there is one thing I'd like to add here that I may have forgot to mention here, which is fine because it may have been an interesting situation. But, as you guys are trotting along, Cassandra, I'll just mention you definitely remember your dream following night, which was the dream of the king, or the dream of your father, as it were. So you're aware of this dream. Anyway, that happened. As you guys are going on through the mountains, though, I mean, it is dark. Eventually, you do see through, reflecting across the lake to the left, the lights, some dim candles and fires from Rondell Town, kind of to the west a bit further, as you guys are heading through the hills. Actually, you see kind of like a large fire there, bigger than you might have expected. Make a perception check, Tredicor, for me.
Oh, I don't see anything.
Yeah, seems like there's a large fire over there, like a large source of light. You guys are getting to the town for sure. And you guys are headed through the hills. Anything else anybody's doing? Probably not. In particular, not much time is passing. An hour,
An
maybe.
alarming fire? I want to try to see what kind of fire it is. I'm scared. I don't like fire. I've had bad experiences. I'm freaking out.
You can make a perception check as well.
Okay. It's an 11.
It's a bit concerning. It seems like maybe just like some houses or the woods are on fire.
Oh,
It's not a
great.
huge fire. It's like a smallish fire. Like, not a massive bonfire, but a smaller. But
And that's
up in the distance.
it's like at Rondell?
Yeah.
What is it, Lorna? What do you see?
Our
My exhaustion has gone.
experiences.
I can't see anything.
I don't see much either, but I do know it's a fire, and given our experiences with fire and our situation, if you will, I'm quite apprehensive to enter this town head on near the fire. I worry for the princess's safety traveling in such a large caravan, especially at night, towards this fire.
Do you think they need our help?
I think we need to help ourselves steer clear this fire.
All right, as you say.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option really, there's the lake to the left and there's the Hills of Faith, which, get out of control and just like steeper and more wild and more wave-like as they go farther to the northeast and just kind of cover a large area. That's the Faithland, as it were. You can go up into the hills over there, or you could turn around.
If I might have a say in this decision, I would be inclined to try and help if we are able, and it doesn't seem like there is a smooth path at which we can go around. I would hope everybody's okay. If we can do anything to help, I'd like to.
I will agree to this on the condition that If things get too dangerous, we leave.
I'm okay with that.
I suppose I can agree.
Then let's go on towards Rondell.
Yeah, Rondell, you guys are leaving Lonrel and you're arriving at Rondell, and yeah, you guys, it's a little bit ways farther though. You guys are still getting like super tired. Everybody, well, I guess Lorna, you're okay. Well, yeah, you're not walking actually, Lorna. You guys are actually riding, so you guys should be fine. Actually, make you two, Tredicor and Cassandra, make one more of those saving throws for me. Constitution.
You're killing her.
15.
That's a 0
Okay.
for me.
Ooh. Well, you just get 1 point of exhaustion still. So you're both at 1
What
still.
it is.
Tredicor does not get more exhausted, and you guys do make it up to the town with only that many chances of getting exhausted. Really, you guys approach really Rondell, and you see the fire more clearly, which is up a little bit to the north, past the main road in the main part of town. Further to the west is like the inn and everything, as you might remember. But yeah, you guys can go check out this fire if you'd like. You actually see. Make a perception check, everybody. That was a weird noise.
Nat 20! Proceeds to fall.
Amazing.
7.
Yeah, so I might imagine that Cassie kind of goes around to the side, up past like some mounds of dirt, and gets a better view of these houses and what's going on here, more so than the others initially. And what did you roll, Kyle?
6.
Perception. Okay. Yeah, so definitely you're kind of getting a better view here, Cassandra. It would be you actually see what appears to be like a massive humanoid figure in a shadow, kind of past some trees over there, waving some arms around is what you gather. Like there's a giant just behind this fire on the far side of this burning cottage home, this thatched roof, and there's like a couple trees nearby that are on fire. But that's essentially what you see. There's some farmers or guardsmen as well, scattered about there nearby. Seem to be like trying to fend off this giant. What are you gonna do, Cassandra?
If I have like moved ahead or like up a hill a little bit, I'm going to rush back. Giant, there's a giant.
Giant. What?
No, like
What kind of
like,
giant? Giant monster?
No, like a humanoid giant. There seems to be some people trying to fend it off. Perhaps we can lend a hand? Or does this count as too dangerous?
Is it made of fire or just a giant by the fire?
A giant by the fire, I believe. It doesn't appear to be made of fire. They can be made of fire?
You do.
I think we should help them. Let's conquer this giant.
I'm also trying to
How are you
help.
guys gonna do this? You guys can get a view as I described before, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
I say we attack it, and I am actually gonna run in and go head first, and I am actually gonna go in with my unarmored movement with martial arts.
Definitely. So Kyle, roll up another perception check for me. And Lorna, I will tell you, you have a decent view of the situation. You've got essentially what looks to be like a furbog, a very large classical furbog, of course, as most of these terminologies that I throw out there. So you've seen similar such creatures, but this is a particularly large one, much larger than a human. It's definitely a giant there, making trouble here in the hillsides, as it were. Perhaps like picking up some humans, throwing them as more kind of stab at him. Tredicor, what did you roll?
A 16.
You can see as well as Lorna, essentially, this is the situation. And you were doing, what were you trying to do?
I just want to do like basically like unarmed attack. So I'm gonna just do like a punch.
What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna hang back a little and try to hide.
Yeah, how far away are we? Like, is Tredicor just like pushed his horse and is just charging at this giant without talking to us, or are we actually
It would
like close
seem.
enough?
Like literally,
You guys are a ways away, so there's it's down the street essentially from you. There's a cottage, and Tridicor's running over there essentially right now is what you two are doing. So, it is kind of nighttime. The fire is illuminating. You kind of see the outline and the the shadowy features flickering of this massive giant. But he's running over to it. You guys hanging back, both of you?
I think that I'm definitely going to like move quickly towards it. I want to stay in line. Are we in initiative at all?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. If I can, I would like to cast Prestidigitation on Tredicor. I want to make him appear much larger than he is. Like bulk him up, add some cool armor. I want to make him look intimidating. It might look a little bit fantastically, like maybe not particularly realistically intimidating. Just because I don't think Cassie is ever like she's not very familiar with stuff. But she bulk him up, make him look big. And she just like throws her hands forward. I don't know what prestidigitation feels like. I don't think it like if she hasn't deliberately added a sensation to it, you probably can't feel it, Tredicor. And
it's all visual, isn't it?
Yeah, it is visual. It's exclusively visual, so you'll notice. And I think she'll shout, "Oh gosh, intimidate him, maybe!" And she just kind of just throw this at you as she's riding after you.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that. Anything. So you just give him like armor and like make him bigger and stronger. And he's like a monk, so I imagine you definitely like bulk up his muscles a bit. He's got like some tattoos or whatever, make him seem particularly buff. He's got like you might add like some, I don't know. You can actually describe anything else you'd like to add as well. Like
no, that sounds about right. Like just bulk him up, add some intimidating tattoos, maybe some shoulder armor.
So does he still look human?
In fact, you can throw like mystical. Like it sounds like you have some mystical effect. Like maybe he's glowing, or just like he's bigger. That's mystical, but
yeah, he's bigger. Maybe he's glowing a little bit.
He's got a halo. Yeah, that definitely works. And Tredicor, you're running in there, Lorna. You two are hanging back, and Tredicor, yeah, go ahead and roll your attack. And if you want to describe that at all, as you can go up and attack this giant monster. There's like some town's guard you see as you pass that are like, whoa, who's that guy? Oh my gosh! Like, back them! Oh.
I'm going in with my monk staff, and I'm gonna be doing like a full-on just like charge. My staff in one hand, and I'm running hard. And I'm gonna go in with a jump, and I'm gonna hit the giant right in the forehead. And as I do this, I'm having this like big glow all around me, and I have these tattoos, and I feel like I am just a straight up hard ass.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely see yourself. You're just kind of like, whoa, I'm this badass. And what was your roll?
14.
He's actually hit.
That'll hit. You can roll damage.
Okay. 1d6 plus 3. I rolled a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely see like a little bit of stars in his eyes for a moment as you kind of are able to jump up and knock him in the face. I imagine you like jump up off this tree and off the side of this building and just like clock him, and he kind of like staggers backwards for a moment, kind of rubs at his face, but then like he looks to take a large swing at all you people around him. And you know what? Even you two hanging out, you can go ahead and roll initiative. Everybody can do that real quick.
13.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh. 15.
7.
So who got the 15? Okay. Okay, so in that case, Lorna, you have the first action. Is there anything you want to do? I think there's background.
I got a 10, by the way.
Oh,
So, does the Furbolg guy, like, see me? Like, has he seen me, or is he just kind of, like, focused on Tredicor?
he's not really privy to you two, you and Cassandra. He's dealing with some Townsguard and this fire and Tridicor who just punched him in the face, essentially.
Honestly, I'm like, my character has reservations because I used to travel with a Furbolg, and he wasn't that, like, great when he got mad, if you feel me. So, I'm gonna try to use my bow to shoot him in the neck so he can't get mad, so he just dies.
Okay.
Boy.
You can definitely, ready your arrow as you pull back your bow there and roll your attack.
15.
Yeah, you release your arrow and it whizzes out past through the gray darkness into the neck of this massive Furbolg, and you see some blood squirt out. Massive cry. But you can roll your damage.
What?
Oh, damage. Roll. And what are you going to do as well, Cassie?
Chill Touch is a range of 120 feet, so I'm going to stay about that far away. And cast Chill Touch at this giant. And kind of like, definitely like glancing nervously around and making eye contact with Joseph, because I don't know what he's going to do. But she's going to cast Chill Touch, and I imagine like just this spectral hand kind of comes out, and she's going to essentially try and choke it with this Chill Touch. I don't think I have to hit that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You're good.
no.
So you kind of conjure up this misty chill strike that kind of like almost like an icicle that descends over towards this giant. Lorna, what was your damage?
I actually don't have a D6, and that's what I'm supposed to roll. You want to quickly just roll one for me and tell me what you get?
Yes, I will. Okay, so what's your modifier? I got a 3.
+2.
Total. And then what's the damage for you, Cassie?
Oh, that was a 7.
So yeah, your chill hand like wrapped as well as it could around the Adam's apple of this massive figure.
Little tiny.
He seems perhaps to choke a little bit, like, but then he's also just taken this massive cleave through Tridicor and the knights around nearby, unlike these two ladies. So Tridicor, I'll allow you to kind of do like a dexterity dodge here.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, so you're able to just jump over his arm, if you want to describe that, as he swings through several other of these like guards and peasants with pitchforks who are nearby. kind of not toppling them, but you jump.
Swing comes by. I do
Not toppling them,
as
but
the
you jump.
swing comes by. I do basically a one-handed somersault, and I push myself up and over his arm as the swing comes through, and I land on my feet, and yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely, are doing just fine. In fact, it's going to be your turn.
And after I land on my feet, I decide to charge, and I want to do a complete jab right into the neck with my staff, just straight up, and try to choke him out, or just I don't know, get his jugular.
Yeah, you can roll your to hit and probably your damage. Because not too hard.
That was a 20.
Yeah, you definitely hit. Oh, that's a natural 20? Or just a dirty 20? Oh, wow. Critical hit. You just right up into where the Adam's apple, where the chill hand was already freezing his skin a little bit. You just pound it in, and it looks like a good hit. Some blood splurts out down around scatters on your clothing. What's the damage on that? So I guess the rule I'm going to use, you're going to deal max damage for whatever your attack would be, and then you'll roll again and add whatever number you roll.
Okay, so that's a 9 plus 3, so 12.
You rolled a 3?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's correct. Definitely looks like a decent hit on him there. He's like, oh, and he's kind of turning away from you, but he kind of turns to look at you, and definitely makes eye contact with this massive gleaming eye that just kind of shimmers against the fire nearby on the houses next to you as he looks at you. His hand is just barely striking this building as well, sending some rubble off to one side, and the fire kind of crumbles down along with this building. And you guys are seeing this as well in the background. The guards and townsfolk are getting up to their feet and trying to attack this guy, shouting "Get out of my town!" But Lorna, anything you're trying to do?
I think I'm just trying to keep an eye on Tredicor, even though he does have he looks giant right now, just to make sure he's okay, because it kind of looks like the other guy is dying. Also, I feel like my arrow did nothing compared to these spells. I'm like, well then.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guard folk over there who aren't doing much, but Joseph would be running up behind you guys with Cassandra. He would probably be saying should I help the monk boy there? And he's kind of making off to run in towards this battle. Cassandra, if you want to direct Joseph here, you can. You want him to go help Tredicor?
Yes, go. I'll be fine.
He runs over there. But yeah, sorry, what were you doing, Lorna?
I'm just trying to keep an eye on Tredicor because I'm bad at driving.
True. Well, as you see, he just did a somersault over this giant sweeping arm attack, so he seems well off, decently doing all right. You want to make another attack or anything? You want to move about while it's your turn?
No, I think I'm going to try to stay by Cassandra.
Okay, that's fine. Cassie, what are you going to do?
I would like to try and cast Dancing Lights. What I'm going to try and do is I want to have lights appear in its face, I think. Yeah, this is 120 feet again. I want to try and blind it and ideally give it some kind of disadvantage against Tredicor, as it cannot see him. A bunch of dazzling white lights, like 5 or 6 in each eye, kind of super brightness, to try and at least blind it so it can't hit as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you're definitely able to do this. Go ahead and roll kind of do an intelligence check for me just to see the variable here.
10?
10. Okay. So yeah, you're definitely gonna cast these lights up in front of his face there. You're definitely dizzying him and distracting and disorient him to some degree. Yeah, the giant will go ahead and make his turn. Actually, we'll see what he's able to do here. Which it almost looks like he was like starting to do something and like getting distracted. He almost trips, but he goes in just again for another like massive swing of his arm at all the folk around him. And this time, Tredicor, you are going to get hit. So I think probably this prestidigitation is going to fade away as you are going to kind of be hit back, probably against like what remains of this rubble along this wall. You can take a little bit of damage from that as well. Let's see here. Nice. It's only going to be 2 damage for you. You get like kind of the blunt of one of his like fingers, perhaps his pinky finger, but it still sends you flying. A couple of his fingers perhaps hit you in the side, kind of as big as your like hip bone, as it were. You just kind of are flung several feet against this wall. And you can make your way to your feet, Tredicor. Try to attack the giant again, or whatever you'd like here.
All right. So after hitting the wall and falling down with rubble and gravel all over me, I slowly stand up and I run. And I run hard straight towards him. And I decided to do an unarmored attack with my feet. So I run towards him and I try to hit his knee as hard as I can with a jumping kick. And I want to push it in the opposite direction that it bends.
Ow.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
All right.
Tredicor just like bounding like Mario.
Did my blinding
Third
lights
jump,
do anything?
super high.
I rolled a 19.
A little bit. Seems 19. You're definitely gonna hit him there. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Let's see.
And then as well.
I think that's a D4, right?
Yes.
4.
Okay. And then, you kind of see around you, Lorna, there's a couple like town's guards up near the fire and near Tredicor, and the giant who didn't get really hit by this last attack, the swing of this massive giant. And they're like kind of readying their crossbows and arrows, and they're saying, "Fire!" Are you gonna shoot your crossbow as well?
I mean, I don't have a crossbow, but I'll shoot my short bow.
Your short bow, rather, yeah. Yeah, prompted by this, it's actually the end of the round. So if you want to take like an action, you can. So yeah, roll your damage for that.
Can you? I don't have the D6. I rolled a 14 to hit.
Cool. Oh, it was a D6. Ooh, nice. What's your modifier? You got max 6.
+2.
8!
So another great arrow there. Do you want to describe where you're aiming for this giant?
Yeah, I'm trying to go like kind of diagonal through one of his eyes so that hopefully it can get some of his brain when it goes in and also help with the non-visibility. Can aim for the right eye because he's probably favors it.
The arrow seems to go up there near his eye and perhaps hit him like kind of below the eye. But it seems like you definitely punctured his face. That was a wicked blow. He kind of stumbles backwards, and you see a bit of like ichor like flowing about, and he like kind of falls back, almost crawling off for a moment before like seems to be taking a kick of both of his feet at all these people around him. And Tredicor, being so swift, I'll let you try to dodge this attack here with a dexterity.
All right.
But yeah, those massive feet are coming back. It's going to be pretty tricky. There's like 2 of them, so
What is
might
that?
have disadvantage.
12?
So you're actually going to get hit by this guy. This is a big old palm of a foot that, again, smacks you back almost against part of the rock, probably like clipping your leg, but still toppling you back farther into the rubble near the fire. You land kind of on part of the embers. You're going to take 3 damage from this. But Cassie, it is your turn here. And I would also add that casting this chill touch spell, you have this like as well, this vision, this dark feeling of the dark mage who was in your dreams as well, who you're definitely aware of when you kind of cast this chill touch. It doesn't feel like maybe the last time you remember where you're kind of mastering it. It's more of this darkness that's rising within you. But I was when you cast chill touch, so you did cast precipitation as well. But yeah, it's your turn.
Do I have any sense that my dancing lights have caused any like disadvantages to this giant?
He seemed a bit dizzied, but he seemed like he still was attacking okay.
I mean, like
so
I
didn't
did
really
also.
help much.
I did also read that they're like essentially like 4 dim light over 10 feet, so they're not particularly bright either. But since they are not concentration they are not immediately dispelled, as a bonus action, I will move them to follow him, attempting to still blind him. And then, goodness, as my action, I will cast Chill Touch again. Down with you, giant, as she reaches out and casts this spell again, though there is definitely some trepidation on her face.
So honestly, I'm gonna say your chill touch is extremely powerful, almost like it was cast for like a higher spell slot. Like both of your hands, this giant icy cone just like extends like this massive arm and hand towards the giant, and actually is able to kind of grab his neck, it would seem, for this moment as this mist kind of dispels and throws him back kind of into the trees and ground. And anything you're gonna do as you witness
I mean,
this?
that is 8 damage, by the way. As far as Chill Touch is concerned, I think she's going to like look down at her hands, kind of fearfully. Just for mechanics clarification, I do not remember exactly how many spell slots you gave me. I know that you had modified it. I believe you gave me like 3 or 4.
So you have what I decided to do. I think you have like 3 level 0 and 2 level 1s. You have 5 total. But anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Just to finish this battle.
Okay. Just wondering to make sure I'm not overextending.
No, you're good. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, this giant is definitely knocked down by these series of blows, and all the guards around him shot him with some arrows. He's kind of fallen back down to his knees and kind of getting up and perhaps hesitantly like backing away. Tredicor, though, what are you going to
do? As he's stumbling and I'm recovering from the rubble that he has damaged me greatly with, I stand up and I give him the glare. And I look at him and I charge. And I'm going to do the one thing I know that will knock him down. Is I'm going to take my staff and I'm going to just go running straight up to him. And I'm going to hit him straight on top of the head as hard as I can. And actually, I'm going to use some chi here. As I do that, I'm going to do the Fury of Blows right after. And I'm going to punch him.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. You're definitely able to hit him. He's at a disadvantage here, so you can roll your damage. And it's definitely a wicked blow on him. He staggers back and like falls down and knocks over some trees, probably crushing them and like injuring him as well as he falls down upon them and lets out a large groan like, curse you, humans.
So with my Fury Blows, I got a 9 and then a 6.
Oof. Nice. Yeah, just like jabbing and punching through him, and he like is sent like fleeing as he like scurries to his feet, and he like kind of awkwardly flings like his arms behind you and flings you back a little bit. You don't take damage, but you and a couple people are pushed away, and he takes large strides like through the woodland here of the Elwood up to the north, essentially, and kind of is quickly making his way away from the scene. And all the townsfolk are like, "Thank the gods! This monk! These magical icy shards! What is occurring here? Oh, thank you, my farm! All praises!" You guys gonna do now as just kind of the proceeds of this battle? The giant escaping off into the distance here in the misty kind of night trees. But you guys are victorious, it seems.
What about the fire?
You know, the fires, there's some trees on fire nearby as well. The fire on this house is kind of burning dimly as the straw is kind of scattered about. You put some of it out with your back, Tridicor, but there's still some ambient fires burning about in the trees and small ones on the house.
Well, we should probably put those out.
Definitely. So you can make your way to do that. Anything you guys are doing as well?
Is there any part of the town that's like not destroyed? I think I'm gonna try to scope out a place for us to like rest after this. Or
Yeah,
at least, like,
actually,
take stock of everything.
most of the town is all right. Only like one cottage here is destroyed, kind of to the like the northeast side of town. But yeah, to the north, there's more cottages, more houses. There's like the church, the inn that you're familiar with on the far side of town again. And yeah, everything else is fine. The woods here are a bit beat up, and this house is kind of destroyed, but everything else is okay.
I'll put out the fire then as soon as I see that there's somewhere else to go.
I think Cassie is definitely going to like ride up closer to where these villagers are. I assume that the villagers are probably like working on putting this fire out. I assume like after a giant skull, that's probably the next thing. She's not going to get off her horse to help. Literally on her high horse here. But she's going to ride over and, you know, are you well, good people? Is everyone okay? Is there anybody hurt or injured?
Gonna talk about this giant thing, eh? Thank you. Some of them are going to put the fire out. Some of them are attending to others, like through the woods, who might be wounded as well. And some guards come through and they're like, thank you for your help, monk and everyone. I think we're safe for now. But a lot of the people are like, we're better now. Thank you.
Of course.
To help people that have gone or are going through trouble. If I see fright or I see a fight, I will always be there to help the good.
I would say there's kind of this elfin guard with like a crossbow who in armor who kind of walks up past you guys and says like, saw what some of you have done out here. Thank you for your help. Don't need giants in our town.
Of course, happy to help. May the word be with you. I hope that all is well.
You as well. Word be with you. Hopefully I see you around then. This is leave. All the peasants, scurrying about as well. Anything else you guys would like to do?
No, but I will put a side note that my prestidigitation lasts for an hour, so you're still totally tatted up.
Sweet.
Is there like anything cool in the rubble of this house? I kind of want to look.
Are you looting?
I just want to look.
Do like an investigation check, I guess, or like perception.
It's a nat 20. What is there? Where's the stuff?
Check.
Yeah, Ryan, what's in this house that you didn't think we'd loot?
So there are a lot of like arrows actually. Arrows and broken arrows, barrels full of them. There's also food and like clothes, basic things.
Are there vaguely princess-sized pants or clothes? So that she may eat more.
No, there's like some really big clothes, like very large figure would wear these. Very large man, perhaps.
Gonna
That's about all
try
the
to
pants.
just like test her kindness and try to offer her some of the huge pants. But I'm also taking arrows.
You find a lot of arrows, so I mean,
I want 20.
you can definitely take 20. I'll give you 30.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay,
and
now
then
I will offer the pants. I'm gonna fold them up as small as they can go and just walk up and just bow and present them to you without saying anything.
Oh, are these to replace mine? I'm afraid I don't. She's gonna grab them and like unfold them, and I assume we're talking like. Oh, why? Thank you. My needlework will be able to bring these in lovely. I think. Thank you very much. She's like fold them and like drape them over her lap, like they're probably big enough to be like a blanket. Drape them over her lap.
Good tonight. I trust in your skill and I'm happy to help. It's the least I could do.
I appreciate it. She's looking at you so suspiciously. She cannot tell if you're being entirely serious or if you're pulling her leg,
I'm
but
just gonna be straight faced.
thank you very much for your kindness. May the word bless you.
And as soon as you say may the word bless you, I'm just gonna frown and like walk away.
Confusion. If there's anybody nearby who heard this exchange, is there anybody who heard that? If there is, she's like, did I say something?
Oh, bless your little heart.
I'm
Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, Tredicor. Have I offended her? I'm very confused.
No. If anything, you can use that as like a saddle cover. It doesn't matter as long as you have more clothing. I have never heard of anybody saying too many pants.
And she's gonna like take down her voice a couple notches and kind of whisper, "Is she a prankster? Is she joking with me?"
No, she's just naive. She just wants to help, but she doesn't understand the concept of size.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was awesome. Are you gonna say something else?
No, I'm done. Are you okay, Elizabeth?
That's hilarious.
You can never have too many pants.
She doesn't understand the concept of size. Well, that's amazing. I mean, it's the middle of the night, you guys. You guys are hysterical. You're
They
delirious
are
and tired, and you're just
exhausted.
laughing about these pants. Lorna just walks away giggling. There's the inn on the other side of town. You can definitely make your way there.
I think we need to do that.
As you do, you definitely notice it's kind of like this large church. It has a steeple. There's like some other kind of thatched roof cottages kind of like attached onto the side of this brick church, essentially. They lead you into this, essentially what they said it was the inn. So that's where you go. As per usual, you guys would meet Skeller. Well, it's actually not Skeller, is it? It's actually a Triton. It's this rogue type who you spoke to before, who is a chef actually. The chef at the inn there. He's kind of this big, buff old man. He's got tattoos. He says, good to see you again there, miss. Doing well. Surrounded by family, I hope. Need a room. Need some good stew, eh?
We definitely need a place to rest. The goods
You've-
may have to come later.
Come to the right place, lad.
We are escorting a very important person.
Oh, see that? Looking at you, fancy folk entering. Will's your knight. He says, happy to see you all again and greet my new customers. Well, I'm sure, here, let me help you to a room. You have, you don't have a tab or anything. No? He like flips through some books he's checking. Says, how long are you staying?
We should
No more than
just
a fortnight.
Just the night. I know.
Fine, fine. It's good to see a friendly face. Lorna, perhaps I could arrange another job for you if you'd like. In any case, he'll look around behind and see that the inn is empty, essentially. He'll just kind of slide a key your way and wink at you. Say like, hey, here's a couple, actually slides another one across to you guys. Here's air on me. Hey, what do you need? How many lodgings?
I don't know.
Oh.
How many rooms you need? 2.
Just 2.
There you go. Should be fine. See you around there. You like point the direction if you need to go. If not, I've got ale here. I've got some nice stew for you. And he's bringing out these bowls of stew for you guys as well that you guys can munch on. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna munch on some stew in the raft again.
Yes, climbing up to the rafters. You can make a little bed up there in the trifold of the beams. What about you two?
You said it's like the middle of the night, right?
It sure is. It's very late. You guys are exhausted.
In
You're-
that case, I think I'm going to turn, and just kind of, are us women rooming together then?
And would you prefer that, or would you prefer to be with your knight?
My night. No, let let the boys bunk together. They can be rambunctious.
All right,
Wait,
then
then.
we
Thank
shall.
I think Cassie's going to eat just like a little bit and then like immediately retire.
I'm going to chug my ale and then chug my stew and follow.
The knight as well, having a bit to say, I'll be off to bed then, thank you. But yeah, what are you going to do, Tredicor? You already went up to end the rafters, so I mean,
Yeah.
Joseph kind of go off to bed as well, and you guys will too. And yeah, I mean, pretty much that's a good place to wrap it up. Anything else you'd like to add as you guys are getting ready for your snugglies?
I'll throw out there that Cassandra does, in fact, pull out these pants and starts considering how best to bring them in by like a foot.
Upon seeing it, to stop myself from laughing so you still aren't sure if it's a joke, I'm just gonna turn towards the wall and pretend I'm asleep so that I don't start laughing.
Very seriously is taking measurements.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yes.
can definitely measure that up.
Yeah, I'll probably just go to bed. I don't think she's too tired to do any sewing. She's just like, how much of a project is this gonna be?
Can you make a jacket out of this?
Looks like a doozy, but you can manage it. Anything else, Tredicor, Lorna? You guys are dozing
No,
off?
I think I'm good. I'm eating my stew, lounging on the rafters, and just observing.
I think, like, in the morning next time I would want to talk to the princess, but I don't have anything in mind right now.
Yeah, we'll get to the morning later, I suppose. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for playing. That was a good job, guys. You bested that massive giant there, and great acting and interactions between the party as well. Good job on your goals and everything.
Freaking big pants.
Freaking the big pants. Yeah, you guys are
I
cracking
just
me
think
up.
they're gonna be really great for you. Present wear is totally the rage.
I imagine
big pants are the rage right now, so.
that Cassie can like embroider a cushion really well, but has probably never sewn her own clothes. So it'll be an experience.
It definitely will.
Indeed. Well, I guess until next time, you guys will depart from Rondell.
Okay.
Then, and I'll see you guys next week. I'll go ahead and stop this recording. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Oh, you guys got to like and subscribe. I mean, follow us on the things.
Well,
Yeah.
here.
Well,